again. My name is Christy and I'm going to guide you through some mindful movement with a focus on rotation, twisting, and some circling motions. So we'll be twisting our spine, moving through our spine and pelvis with rotation, twisting our hips, a little bit of shoulder rotation also, and trying to get just some different movement than our bodies might be used to. So if you've got a block or a big pillow to sit on, that might help you feel comfortable a little later. And then an option to add a bit more challenge to some of the hip work is a band, a resistance band. And we're going to tie it in a circle. So just want to have it looped. If you've got a looped band, that's great too. Otherwise, tie it in a firm knot just below your knees. And then just take that off for later. And the first thing we're going to do is lie down on our backs. You can just put these other things off to the side. Lie down on your back with your knees bent and just feel the mat beneath you. If you need a little head pad for now, that's fine. And just let your shoulders settle into the floor. Knees are bent. Don't think about trying to flatten your back or find any position. Just let it relax. And just focus first on just tucking your chin. And then maybe starting to circle your chin around. So just starting with that gentle rotation and circling motion in the neck. So think about guiding your chin, tiny little circles, and at the same time you might feel the back of your skull just interacting with the floor as the weight shifts slightly side to side. Try a few of those the other way. They're just small, tiny little circles. So you can let your shoulders relax. Just tiny circles. Let your eyes move with it. 2 more of those, nice and easy. And then just let your skull just rest in center. Now take your arms up to the ceiling. Try to keep them straight, especially your elbows. So see if you can keep those straight. And just feel your shoulder blades. Just squeeze them toward the mat. See if you can draw them together like you're pinching a little walnut. And then just stretch them apart for a moment. Try that again. Breathe in through your nose. Draw your shoulder blades together. And then breathe out through your nose or mouth. Stretch them apart. So just that motion of retraction and then the separation. Protraction is fine to start. Or if you'd like to play with a little bit more direction, try a circle of your shoulders, shoulder blades. So they're going to draw toward one another, then up towards your ears, then away from the floor, and then down towards your hips, away from your ears. So into the mat, up towards your ears, staying toward the mat. Now move away from the mat, but keep them towards your ears, and then slide them down towards your hips. Again, shoulder blades toward the floor, and then up towards your ears, then away from the floor, still by your ears, and down towards your hips. If you've got that, switch directions. Away from the floor, up towards your skull, into the floor, down towards your hips. Away from the floor, up to your skull, and then down toward the floor. So up, and then down, trying to see how much movement you can get on both sides. See if you can even that out. Just easy, one more. Just gentle body awareness is what we're building before we get into the challenge. And then finally, just let your shoulders sit in a comfortable position and let your arms relax down beside you. Now draw your knees side to side, and we'll just move down the body into the pelvis. So this is sometimes called the hips, but I want you to think about this basin of bone of the pelvis as being the only thing moving. So just let your backs of your shoulder blades and that space between them where a bra strap and clasp rest on the floor, and see if you can turn your pelvis to the left. You'll bring your right foot with it, but only go as far as that middle back can stay on the mat on the right side. And then come on back to center. Now let's try the other side. Can you turn your pelvis, so your organs, your navel, to the right, but without letting your middle back on the left lift? And then just come back to center. Again, we're just building body awareness, moving slowly before we start to move into more challenging movements. See, it's like you're wringing out your spine. So your pelvis is turning without the rib cage following. So if you get the hang of that, and make it a bit more challenging, keep your knees glued together, feet glued together. Breathe in, take your pelvis left, Keep the back of your right ribs down, and then breathe out and lighten your feet just a touch to pull them back to center. We'll do that left side again. We'll do 8 in a row. So breathe in, turn your knees and your pelvis right, keep the back of your left, and then exhale back to center. All right, try that again. I'll cue that correctly. So pelvis turns left, but keep the back of your right ribs on the floor. Exhale back to center, light feet. Now more challenge still, arms across your chest. Chin is tucked, brace, and come on back to center. You might even start to make them so light they float off the floor. Knees, hips left, exhale back to center. We'll do 4 more, a little extra. Knees, hips left, exhale back to center. So bring out your spine from the inside out. You're gently drawing your navel to your spine without gripping, without causing neck tension. Last 2. If you feel like you are getting neck tension, just put a little pillow under your head. Even a rolled bath towel or hand towel works. Now let's go the other way. Try turning your pelvis and knees to the right, but keep your back left rib. So I want you to push your rib cage down just as much as your knees and pelvis go right. And then lighten and exhale, return to center. So try that again. So you're turning the waistband of your pants or shorts, or if you're at home, your underwear, to the right, and back left if you're wearing them. And then exhale back to center. These are tough times, I know. Inhale, you wear what you want. Just move your organs right, push your back ribs down, exhale back to center. Now lighten your feet a bit more, arms across your chest, and exhale back to center. So you could even float your feet off the mat as you exhale. Brace and return your pelvis back to center. So your abdominals are pulling that pelvis back to center and also helping to anchor that left middle back. 3 more. Just a really gentle warm up. Inhale, if your chin's starting to lift, see if you can just tuck it down again to feel like you're getting a little double chin. That'll help the back of the neck to stay relaxed and spinal bones to stay happy. We'll do 1 more for good measure. Pelvis turns right, inhale, lighten your feet, exhale back to center. Perfect. Separate your feet now. Let's go about sunglasses width, maybe a little wider, toes forward. All right, now arms beside you, and just curl your pelvis, if you can, into a little tuck so that your pubic bone is higher than your tailbone, or higher than your navel. And then lead with your pubic bone to just lift your hips up and off the mat. Stop when you get to your shoulder blades, and find a bridge position. Okay, so we're going to again do that movement of the pelvis. So moving the pelvis without moving the rib cage. So I like to put my hands on my ribs to guide me. Keep your pubic bone curled to the ceiling. So you really got to squeeze those glutes. Keep the pubic bone curled. And now can you keep your knees mostly still? Dip your pelvis, turn it to the left. So your left side of your pelvis will drop. The right is going to lift. The right glute's working hard, left or not. And then return to center. And we'll alternate sides to start. So rotate your pelvis the other way. Can you do this without letting your pelvis shift left? And then back to center, exhale. So pelvis moving, rib cage is not. Rotate. So your navel and organs turn left, and then they return to center with that pubic bone high, tail tucked. Rotate right, breathe in. Exhale back to center. You want to try to keep, if you can, your lower back relaxed, and we do that by maintaining that pubic bone height should be higher than any other part of your trunk. Rotate your pelvis again to the right, and then return to center. 1 more time each way. Then we'll make this a bit more interesting. Trying to keep your knees still if possible. That's one of our goals here. Rotate to the right. Now back to center, level your pelvis, and just roll down 1 vertebra at a time. And by the way, if you did have that little pad underneath your head, want to take it out when we've got our hips lifted so that our neck isn't getting compressed. Okay, so this time we're going to roll our pelvis up again. Again, curl, lead with your pubic bone. And then when you get to the top, so now we're going to put our hands on our pelvis. It'll give you a bit more support. You can even have your hands on your buttocks if that's helpful. Now let's shift our weight to our right foot. And see if you can do that without letting your pubic bone drop. So keep it curled. Keep firing the back of your right hip as you unweight your left foot. Now it might be possible to lift your leg completely. If that is not, don't worry, just keep your left foot on the floor as we twist our pelvis to the left. So can you turn your navel to the left? Your left leg might open a little also. And then return your navel to look at the ceiling with your pubic bone the highest part of your body. Just 8 of these. Inhale, rotate. And exhale, center. You can even put your left foot on your right if you want. Just keep that curl, right thigh. And rotate. And then return to level, making sure that pubic bone is tucked. If you need more support, put your hands on your pelvis. Inhale, 4 to go. And return. Let those ribs drop, chin is tucked, there's no pressure on your neck. And center exhale. Is your right leg staying still? I know that's the least of your worries. And rotate center. One more, inhale. Back to center, exhale. Place your left foot down, breathe in. And just roll down between the sides. One vertebra at a time. And just gently settle into the mat. All right, so reset, take a breath. Now lead with your pubic bone as you curl. Find your bridge, stop at the base of your shoulder blades. Keep your chin tucked and those ribs knit on the front. And then start to give weight to your left foot. Unweight your right, keep that curl of the pubic bone. Shift into your left heel with the weight in the foot. See if you can lift the right foot off. If not, keep your right foot on the floor. Breathe in, rotate your pelvis to the right. Your navel's turning like a headlight. Belly button turns, exhale back to center. Should be no weight on your neck. If you're feeling weight on your neck, try to drop your ribs down a little bit. Exhale back to center. You got it. Inhale, rotate. 6 to go. So rotating the pelvis. Left knee still. If you're getting tired, put your right foot on your left thigh or down even on the floor. Just keeping that rotation and most of the work in the left leg. 3 more. Last time. And then return to center. Place your right foot down, take a breath, and then just settle one vertebra at a time of your spine down into the mat. And then as you've done that, focus on keeping your back ribs down. If you want a little head lift, to help your neck stay relaxed, go ahead. Let's take both of our legs up into tabletop, so knees over hips. As you've done that, make sure they haven't come close enough that your low back flattens into the floor. And try to maintain a little bit of space under that with our abdominal wall braced and our back ribs anchored. All right, so I like to place my hands on my ribs as a reminder not to pop them. Keep your right knee where it is. Can you straighten your left leg on a diagonal? The lower it goes, the harder it's going to be to keep those ribs down. So don't let them lift off the floor. Keep them anchored. Right leg stays still. Can you circle your left leg? You choose how big. It should be only as low and the circle only as large as you can keep. Again, your pelvis neutral, that just tiny bit of space underneath the lower back and the back ribs anchored. You're breathing out for the bulk of the circle as the leg moves toward the floor. 2 more here. If you need more support, you can always hang on to the back of your right thigh. Now switch directions. Focus on that brace of your deep trunk muscles. 6 to go slowly. Ribcage anchored, chin is tucked. Again, if you want a little bit of help for your neck or support, you can even put your block underneath your head. It might even give you better access to those obliques. Make sure that right knee's not coming any closer. Hold pause. Now, can you for a second straighten your right leg beside your left? Hold it out there, left leg back to tabletop. Level your pelvis, right hip is the heavy as left, chin is tucked, ribs are knit, and circle. A lift in the pelvic floor would also be fabulous if you can contact those bladder control muscles and lift them up and away from that bikini area. Breathe out for the bulk of the circle. Try not to move your pelvis as that left leg stays still over the hip, no closer. 3 more circles this way, doing great. Now switch directions, keep that left leg still. 8. Almost there. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. Can you straighten your left leg beside your right? Breathe and brace and hold there 5 breaths. If you need more support, soften your knees or take your feet closer to the sky. Focus less on taking your feet close to the floor and more on maintaining that contact with that space between your shoulder blades and an area where the bra strap would clasp. So 2 more breaths.
Doesn't have to be low. Again, we're focusing more on that brace of the trunk. And then bend your knees and plant your feet. Great work. So take that block out, go over to your side, and then just press all the way up to seated when you're ready. And then once you come all the way up to seated, you're going to find your band, if you've got one. If you don't, that's just fine too. A scarf might work. If you'd like to use a block, you can put that underneath your head, but you don't have to. You can put your head on the floor or on the pillow. Put the band around your knees. And again, a tie would work, a scarf would work, that's just fine. All right, so lie facing me on your side. If you want to lie on your right side, that'll be a little easier to follow along. That's side cue. So lie on your right side of your face is down. I'd like you to take your knees into a bent position, but with your knees a little lower than your hips. So they're not as high as your hips. They're in a place where your feet are about in line with the back of your butt, okay? So in that position, see if you can just lift your waist a little bit, and then take your arms forward, both elbows straight. So we're going to start with just a nice easy rotation of the spine, and then turn it into more. Just lift your top arm to the ceiling. Inhale should be your left. Look toward the wall behind you. And then exhale and return. So just enjoy that yummy rotation. Breathe in, rotate. Reach your top knee forward as you do that. Breathe out, return to center. One more, inhale, still with that twisting thing. Now this one, as you return home, reach your top arm forward. Stay there with your feet together. Just lift your top knee up and hold. Keep reaching your top arm forward. That's going to prevent you from cheating and rolling back. And stay here and pulse your top knee to the sky. Again, your feet are together, they're on the floor. Your navel is facing forward, not toward the sky. We're doing 8 of these little pulses, and we've got 8 sets. Now lower your knee and lift your top arm, inhale. And then return back to center and breathe out. Lift your top knee, keep reaching forward, hold, and pulse at that top end while reaching forward. 7, 6, 5, I'll try to keep count of the sets and keep track of them. Counting is not my strong suit. And lower, lift the top arm, inhale, rotate. Set number 2. And exhale back and pulse. 8, 7, keep reaching forward. Let your neck relax. 3, 2, and 1, rotate, lower your knee. Set number 3 coming up, and go. 7, 6, 5. Hopefully that top hip is starting to warm up. Your bottom hip might be feeling a little too. It's helping to stabilize. And lower your top knee and open and inhale. And exhale, lift your top knee again. Set number 4. Here we go. 8, 7, coming up to halfway. So keep your feet, if you can, together. So we're working on rotation of the hip, that twisting motion of the hip. Lower your knee, twist, inhale. So we're halfway there. Exhale, return. Lift your knee and go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and open, twist. Lower your top knee down. If you want more challenge, don't lower your knees. Hold that static contraction and go. 8, 7. This is our 3 sets to go. So this is the first of those 3 sets. 3, 2, and now try not to lower your knee. Keep some pressure in the band. And then return. Reach forward and pulse. 8, 3, 2, and last one. Rotate, keep a little pressure in the band, and then return and go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fabulous. Now relax, and then come all the way up to a seated position. So now, we're going to just come on up. You can just keep the band there for ease. I'm going to face you for this one. So come on up to your knees. You can just keep the band there. If it's annoying you, feel free to put it off to the side. And then come on to hands and knees. If you need to be on your elbows, go ahead. We're going to start with an easy twist with our knees down, and then I'll give you more challenge. So we're going to take, if you can, left fingertips to temple. You're going to push weight into your left knee and rotate your spine to the left. And then return down. So start with nice and easy. We'll do a couple of these, and then I'm going to give you more challenge. So rotate, breathe in, and then return, breathe out. Keeping your right elbow straight if you can. Rotate to the left, inhale, and then back to center, exhale. Now you can stay with that, or come to straight leg, and you might need to get rid of the band if you find it's a bit too much. And we're going to see if we can rotate and twist our spine, but without turning our pelvis. So keep your left hip turned toward the floor, and then return down. So you're going to roll that left hip down. It's tough to do. Rotate your chest and eyes. The hips might move a bit, pelvis moves a bit, and then return back down, exhale. We've got 5 more. Or just stay on your knees and return. So as you rotate left, push your left hip toward the floor. Breathe in, rotate. Breathe out, return. Inhale, rotate, push that left hip down. Exhale, center might be a little off, but try your best. Inhale and return. 2 more. 1 more. And return down, both hands down, both knees down. All right, so now the right side. Right fingertips to temple. I'll face you again. Feel free to get rid of that band now if you want, between the sides. We'll get back to the hips in a second. Twist to the right, knees down, push your right knee down. And then return center and breathe out. I like to go a little past neutral, so that mobilizes the left scapula, the left shoulder blade. Breathe in, rotate. Breathe out, return. All right, so if you're happy there, stay, or for more challenge, make your way into your plank. You can separate your feet a little if you need. Right fingertips temple. Push your right hip toward the floor and twist. So we're doing the other side essentially. If I've messed you up with my sides, right and left are about as good as my counting. Find your other side. So as you twist, push your right hip down so it doesn't come along for the ride. It's a tough one. I'm not looking for perfect. Just think about awareness, just building that segmental control. 4 to go. Feel free to be on your elbows also if you want. 1 more time. Done. All right, relax. And now lie on your other side. Should be your left if you came along with me. Bring the block with you. Get ready for that twist side lying. So heads down. Knees are a little lower than your hips. Both arms are forward. All right, just enjoy the twist to start. Inhale, rotate. And exhale, return. Follow your top arm with your eyes. Inhale. And return and exhale. Big breath in, rotate. All right, now lift your top knee to the ceiling as you reach your top arm forward on the floor. Stay there and pulse. 8. Good. So our goal is to keep our navel facing forward and reach your top arm a little farther forward also to prevent your shoulders from rolling back, which makes the work on the hips a little easier. Lower your knee, lift your top arm, breathe in. That's set number 1 of 8. And we'll rotate, exhale. And go. Pulse, keep reaching with your right arm. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower. Feel free to just go halfway and keep some tension on the back. If that's too easy, return, breathe out. And 8, 6, there's step number 3. And lower your knee and lift and rotate. And rotate back, exhale. Set number 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift and rotate. And return. Top knee goes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift and inhale. And rotate. And again, 8. 3 more sets. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lower your knee, lift your arm. 2 sets to go. If you want extra work, keep the tension on the band. Don't lower all the way. Go now. 8, 6, 3, 2. Lower your knee. How about just halfway? Keep that work on there. Those lateral hips. And last time. 8, 7. Keep reaching forward. 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and relax. Fabulous work. Press on up to seated. You can take the band off. and then just put it off to the side. We'll use the block in a little bit, but for now they can just stay off to the side. All right, so we're coming back to a plank position, but this time on our elbows, and we'll just start on our knees and see how that feels. And then if you want to go to your toes, you can certainly do that. So I like to have my hands as wide apart as my elbows, and then walk back with your knees and try to curl your pubic bone towards your chest. Just like we had in the bridge, it's the reverse here, same position, but facing the opposite direction. So curl your pubic bone under. So we're gonna stay with that, and just nice and easy, make sure first that your elbows are a little forward of your shoulders. So see if you can just turn your pelvis a little side to side. Now, if that doesn't feel good for your knees, the next option might actually feel better, although it's harder. So you can stay with that, or straighten your legs and draw them together. Make sure your shoulders didn't just pop forward. Now glue your legs together, and can you turn your heels both to the right so that your belly turns left. Bring your left heel with your right, and then exhale back to center. Now go the other way. Heels go right, push into your right elbow, and then exhale back to center. We're doing 16 total, 8 each way. Inhale, just go as far as feels good for your body. If it doesn't feel good for your lower back, make it smaller. Inhale, breathe out back to center. Inhale, exhale, center. Side, exhale, center. You got it. Exhale, center. And rotate. And center. And inhale. And center. Feel free to readjust. Feel free to go to your hands if you want. I'm going to press up there now. And heels turn. Try to keep, if you can, your shoulders mostly still. More than halfway. 3 more twists each way. Rotate, center. So now working on that spine rotation. And center. Inhale, and center. And inhale, and center. We'll do 1 more time each way. 1, and center. To the left with your heels, and back. Make sure your head's a little higher than your shoulders. How about 1 more each way? Sorry. And center, 1 more. And then return down, bend your knees, and relax. All right, so find your block. This time we're going to sit on it. And if you don't have a block, you can sit on a pillow. If you have very flexible hips and low back, you may not need one, but it's a good place to start. So the block is underneath your sitting bones. Those are those 2 bones you might feel burning an hour into a movie. And then we'll take our legs into this weird Pilates position called mermaid. Take them around to the right. So your right foot is back, your left foot is forward, and if it doesn't feel good for one knee, just straighten that leg forward. So we're just going to start with a little twist of our spine with your arms across your chest. So first tuck your chin, lift your chest wall, and then see if you can just slowly rotate to your right. So exhale, and as you do that, push your left knee down. And center. If that doesn't feel good for your right knee, don't twist quite as far, or just move your right knee a little forward or back. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, return. Feel free to take your fingertips to your temples for a bit more challenge. So just rotating to your right, nice and easy. Again. Big exhale, try to drop that right hip down. So now, yes, we're doing spine rotation, but your hips are also in rotation. Right hip's an internal, left hip is an external. And that's what we're going to work on next. All right, so hands can stay in your head or arms across your chest. So now this one to start, all I want you to do is just squeeze your butt and push your knees toward the floor. So we'll do a little prep. It's kind of weird, I know. And then release. So try again. Lift your chest, push your knees down toward the floor. And relax. So that might be enough. Next option, just make your hips a little bit lighter and see if you can shift slightly forward to lift your pelvis, bring your head back, and then show that block still there, and come on back down to sit. So try that again. Flex your ankles, exhale, lift. We'll try 8. If that doesn't feel good, then don't do it. You can also readjust your knees as you need. Exhale up, and inhale down. That's it. Hands on the head for a little bit more challenge. So now we're doing hip rotation. So we're increasing that rotation in the hips. Last 3. I know it's a weird one. It's mobilizing your hips. 2. Last 1. And relax. All right, just take your legs around to the other direction. So left leg is back, right leg is forward. And then just let your hips settle down. Find a place that feels semi-comfortable. All right, and then once you're there, arms across your chest with fingertips, temples, and just rotate your spine to the left. Exhale. Chest is up, head is back. Center, inhale. So let your head and eyes go with that twist. Exhale to your left, and inhale back to center. You're going to keep your navel forward and rotate your chest. Exhale, think about moving your shoulder blades. You're taking your left shoulder blade toward the wall behind you. Rotate and exhale. Center and inhale. Chest up a little more. 2 more. Now you can stay with this if you don't want to go into that next option with the hips. Or try just pushing your knees in the floor, squeeze your glutes, lift your chest. Think about making a little tight kind of ponytail with your buttocks. They're squeezing together as if you're going to put them in a little elastic. And then relax. It's a bit of a weird metaphor. Let's try it again. Squeeze your butt, push into your knees. See if you could lift your hips up this time. And then lower down. Now chest stays up, arms if you want, fingertips, temples, more challenge. Exhale up. And inhale down, working on that hip rotation. And yes, you might notice some big differences between your sides. That is very common. Exhale up, inhale down. If your knees start to move around a little bit, readjust them. 4 more. Inhale down. 3 more. This is a tough one. For some of you it might be easy, but generally it's pretty tough, especially for men who have a different pelvic and hip design. Last one, and then release and relax. So we're just going to take that off to the side, the block. And now just come down and lie on our tummy and do a little bit of prone work, so using our back muscles to do some rotational work. So come down to lie first on your belly. And then as you come down, I want you to do this sort of strange adjustment if you would. So place one hand underneath your forehead and then put the other hand down just above your pubic bone. And then see if you can draw the flesh up, draw your organs up, the strong muscles of your abdomen. So pull all that flesh up towards your navel, towards your ribs, so that the bone at the bottom of the pelvis, your pubic bone, can lie down flat. And then just relax, and you might feel that pretty good, nice feeling in your low back. Should be nice and relaxed, and you've got an anchor through the base of the pelvis. So then bend your right elbow beside your shoulder. So elbows just tucked in, and then your left hand is going to be underneath your head. So we'll just start nice and easy. So first, just push into both elbows a bit, and just float your head off the floor. Keep your chin tucked, and then just lower down. We'll do that a few times nice and easy. So keep your feet anchored, especially the pinky toe side of the foot. So exhale, lift, keep the anchor of your pubic bone, and inhale, lower. Try that again. Exhale as you lift, and then inhale, lower. Now let's do that again, but as you come up to lift, can you rotate a little bit to look to the right? Draw your right shoulder down, but push your right side of your pelvis into the floor. Look over your right shoulder, and then return. Try that again. Roll your right shoulder back, exhale, and come into a little hover, and then see if you can turn your eyes and head, and maybe your shoulder a little bit to the right, but keep that right side of the pelvis anchored, and then return down. See how that feels? Exhale, rotate gentle. Now, if you're happy with that and you want a bit more challenge, you're going to float your left hand off the floor so the hand is on your forehead, your chin is tucked. Press into your left elbow, lift and rotate, trying to bring your left elbow across without letting it come forward of your head toward the right corner. Then return center and return your head and shoulders down. If that's too much for your lower back, keep your hand down. Draw your shoulder down, we're going to do another 5. Exhale, rotate, keep that right shoulder dropped right from the pelvis anchored. Inhale down, feet still anchored. Rotate, great time to close the eyes. Now that you've got this motion, see if you can do this rotation without crunching your lower back on the right. So we're not trying to shorten the right waist. Inhale, return. Exhale, rotate. And inhale, return. 3 more. And 1 more. And then return down, relax. Right hand underneath your head. Bend your left elbow so it's tucked into your ribs. Left hand in front of your shoulder. Start with both arms down and just lift and lower your chest without twisting 3 times. So just a little lift. If you've lost that connection of your pubic bone, reach down again, pull up the flesh of your low belly, and re-anchor. So just a nice, easy hover of the chest without rotation, and then return down. Exhale. All right, let's start to twist, but keep your arms on the floor. So float your chest, now look left, keep your left hip down, and then return to center. And I'm deliberately doing this side and looking away from you so that you can see the other side of the pelvis and the shoulder. Exhale. And then return. Anchor your pubic bone, rotate, look left. Keep that left shoulder pulling down also. So you're anchoring through your left elbow to help stabilize the left shoulder blade. 1 more. Now stay with that for another 5 or 6, or add the challenge, bring your right hand to your forehead, keep your chin tucked, float your chest and rotate to your left, and return. Try to keep your left hip anchored. 5 to go. Exhale as you twist. Again, try not to shorten your left waist. 2 more times. And then return both arms beside you. Now press up to hands and knees, and then once you're there, just round your back. Let your head go. From there, tuck your toes, lengthen your spine, stretch back into a little downward dog. All right, spread your fingers on the floor. You can be on your elbows if you need. Lift your right leg up to the sky, and then draw your right knee forward towards your left elbow, then tap your right elbow, then tap your left elbow, and tap your right, and do that 4 more times each way. Last little bit of twisting. 4, 3, you're doing great. 2, and 1. Can you put your right foot outside your right hand or on the floor somewhere? Your back knee can stay lifted or bring it down, whichever you prefer. Lift your left arm, your right arm, my sides are off today, toward the sky. And just see if you can twist here for a second and just take 3 breaths. If it doesn't feel good for your neck, relax your arm, push down to rotate. Let's finish with the other side. Both hands down. Tuck your back toes, stretch back, downward dog. Lift your left leg, and then draw your left knee forward towards your right elbow, left elbow. Right, left. 8, 7, 6, 5, almost there. Just gonna finish with that hip flexor stretch. Place your left foot outside your left hand. You can keep your back leg long and straight, or lower it down. Right hand on the floor, and twist to the left, sort of turn away from you. You can bring your hand down or even your elbow for a deeper stretch. 2 more breaths. And relax. Feel free to take a child's pose and relax. You're all done. Great work.